Welcome to this brief tutorial about writing a claim. I'm going to delineate the steps in that process, and then we'll look at a sample note sheet that I have created with some sample claims. The first thing you want to keep in mind is that a claim is not a summary of the events in a text that you're reading, but your observation about ideas at work within that text. So you want to begin by reviewing your notes. Then identify the concepts that emerge and note the concepts on the graphic organizer. Then select two concepts and link them with a verb. Write these sentences in the summary section of your graphic organizer. Finally, you'll say when. You'll add a clause to your claim describing when the statement is true. So now you'll have a complete claim. Since you analyzed the text to write the claim, you already have the evidence to support the statement. Your next step would be to develop the idea with the support from the text. So I've taken a copy of the Cornell Notes graphic organizer, and I've created notes for Book 24, How Odysseus Found His Old Father and How the Story Ended. And what I did while I was reading Book 24 was I captured text citations that seemed important to me based on my reading of the story at that point. So at that stage, I noticed storytelling, family, identity, hospitality, piety, democracy were the ideas that seemed to be really important in that book. And throughout my note-taking with the Odyssey, I had picked up on these ideas, so this was really bringing it to a close for me. So what I've done here is I've just noted what concept seems to be at work in the text citations. And if you read this copy of my notes, you'll see that not everything is a text citation. Sometimes I'm just making an observation or a summary statement about the events in the book. All right, and I've color-coded the concepts so that you'll see how they come together in these summary claims. I've put together family and identity with the verb shapes. I said family shapes identity, and then I added the clause, when people live in a democracy. I've linked storytelling and identity with forms. Storytelling forms identity when a person is trying to make sense of his world. And I said hospitality demonstrates piety when a culture values compassion. What I want you to see is these are three fairly different ideas that emerge from the same book. So what your claim becomes is really individual to you and your understanding of the text. And what I can do with any one of those claims is support my thinking with the text citations above. So my next step would be to develop that paragraph with this information. And my job would be to link the ideas that support the claim with my analysis. So that is the claim writing process.